What is going on, guys? So today we're going to talk about something different. We're going to talk about Drake versus Kendrick and who do I think won this rap beef battle. Now, one thing that maybe you guys know or maybe you guys don't know about me is that I was born and raised in the Bronx, the BX borough. So I was basically incubated into rap culture and rap beef and all of these different things. For example, Nas and Jay-Z was one of the most notorious beefs during the times when I was growing up. And that was basically a New York beef, right? It was a New York beef, so it was close to home. And I thought that Nas came out on top from that rap beef with Ether, even though it took him forever to do a response. We're getting, this is like almost like we're microwaving responses here with the Kendrick versus Drake beef. But who do I think won this beef? Now, I think both Drake does really good music and Kendrick does really good music. The thing with me though is I literally grew up on like smack DVD kind of wordplay, wordsmithing, double entendres, triple entendres, clever rhyme schemes. Those are the things that always made me excited. I love Easter egg hunting the lyrics of what somebody was saying in a rap battle. I love that stuff. And I also like artistic rap, right? I'm a person that, I'm going to want to watch, I want to feel sometimes when I'm listening to rap, like this is a Mona Lisa, right? This is a Mona Lisa of rap. And I guess I don't have to say much more than that for you to understand that I side more on Kendrick Lamar music. That's the type of music that I enjoy. Like some people say Mr. Morale is not that good. I think Mr. Morale is one of his best music because it talks about cyclical, trauma and trauma that gets passed down and being able to break that cycle. And I think that's artistic because you're framing something that people truly go through, but you're somehow putting it in an artistic frame so that you give it that conscious awareness. I like that stuff. I like that stuff. I like that deepness, plus the flows and stuff and the rhyme schemes. Honestly, one thing that I've taken out of this beef is that Euphoria is the greatest diss track ever constructed. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat because it's too early, but come back to this video 4 years ago, you guys are gonna say, oh, this aged well. Every line in Euphoria is a double entendre, triple entendre. Every line is cleverly constructed. I love them to death, and I'll explain that in 8 bars, and then 8 bars later to the T, you could count down on the lines. 8 bars later, he says, "I'm YNW Melly." It's very it's surgical. It's the Mona Lisa. It's the magnum opus of diss tracks. I'm sorry. To me, I thought Ether was one of the greatest of all time. I think Euphoria is better than that. Now, the way I rank it is I have Euphoria automatically at the top. Then I have Drake's Family Matters second from Euphoria. So it's Euphoria, Family Matters, because even though Drake is not as clever as Kendrick, and there's a lot of corny lines that Drake, says, in my opinion, that they're just like for example, when he says, "Day free," and then he does the whole, not when he prolongs "Day free," but he lets you know he's talking about day free, and then he says, "Oh, shake that for free," but not that kind of free. I'm talking about day free. We know, why are you insulting the intelligence of your listeners, right? That's kind of corny to me when you're pointing at something, when you don't let the cleverness of the words just do it for you. He has a lot of those. Kendrick has none of those. Everything Kendrick says, it all makes sense. It all seems like it flows very well. But anyways, Euphoria number 1, Family Matters number 2, Not Like Us number 3. After that, I would probably say Push-Ups is number 4. Then Meet the Grams is number 5. And 616 is number 6. And the one he just did right now, The Heart Part 6, which the titling of that is the most strategic, smart thing than anything else. But The Heart Part 6 would be the final one. I might be missing one. I'm not including the Like That record with Kendrick Lamar. Not including that one. But from all the other ones, from the ones that where they're directly attacking, and you could use that term loosely because Drake doesn't stop also attacking other people. But from the one where they're directly attacking each other, that is the list that I have it on. Now, you might say to yourself, well, I have more, like I have Drake, I don't know, whatever the case, because Euphoria to me has not been topped, that I honestly believe that he won, right? Because Euphoria has not been topped. It's like, what's this guy's name? When Nas dropped Ether, Jay-Z did a rebuttal to Ether, but it was so whatever, it didn't matter. Ether was better. Did Nas have to even do something else? No, because he already did Ether, and we all understood collectively that Ether is better than all these other ones, even the new one. So that's how I think about Euphoria. It's like Drake was never able to make something that was better than Euphoria. Therefore, Euphoria is the king. And in my opinion, Euphoria is the best diss track ever made. So now, because with all this understanding, you guys already know, I believe that Kendrick won this rap beef. I think he put an exclamation mark at the end of the sentence when he did Not Like Us, because this was a meta way of winning, because not only was it clever with the clever rhyme schemes, I must have struck a chord and it's probably A minor, like clever rhyme schemes, and then Drake doing a really corny flip on that with the B sharp. But the clever rhyme schemes, but it was also a party song. So he beat Drake at his own game, creating the best party song right now that people keep bumping everywhere, in all different parties. So, I mean, Kendrick outsmarted him and outwitted him in his own game. And there's like a lot of things happening where Kendrick is like about to be number 1 for the first time as a solo number 1. He has the most downloads or streams of one song in rap, basically toppling Drake from 2017 with, I don't remember what song it was, but it was one of Drake's songs that had the most streams in one day, and Not Like Us has topped that. So he's even in another meta way, he beat him. I think this rap beef was cool. There was a lot of dark stuff that came out of this, obviously, but ironically, in my opinion, if the stuff that they both said are not true, then it will be a better situation, to be honest, because I would rather Kendrick pretend that Drake, is PEDO. I would rather he pretend that Drake is that and Drake really isn't, and then that just creates false narratives or whatever, then he really is, and then we have to deal with the understanding that Drake has done that, and he's also going to go to jail and all this stuff. I would rather it be a lie. Believe it or not, I'm in the weird space where I rather both things just be a lie, and it doesn't get to the police officers and all that stuff. It just is just, they did what they needed to do to taint each other's name or whatever. In a weird way, it would be better if it wasn't true on both sides. It wouldn't be better if it wasn't true on one side, because then that would 100% cancel out the other side, right? Like if Drake is telling the truth about Kendrick, but Kendrick is not telling the truth about Drake, then in a weird way Drake would win on that front, on the factual front. And vice versa. But if they both are not telling the truth, then they cancel each other out, and no one has to go to jail. It doesn't get crazy. Nobody had to deal with that trauma. Also, that's tied to this. Let's not forget, victims will be attached to this as well if these allegations are true. I think that in a really perfect world, the best scenario for this rap beef is that those allegations are not true. So let's just hope and pray that they're not, and we will have to wait and see. But that is my thoughts on it. Let me know if you guys want me to talk about each individual rap song or whatever, or just keep following this. It's just something that normally I don't talk about it on this channel, but I do listen to it, right? I do care about it. I do pay attention to it, and I'm always like keeping up with what's going on. And Kendrick is literally my favorite current rapper. So does that bring some bias in? I guess, but it's because I like his style. Therefore, I'm gonna go with the styles that he uses. So either way, that's what, even if I didn't know who Kendrick was, the style that Kendrick uses, the artistic Mona Lisa, Beethoven kind of a rapper, as opposed to the I'm just making a hit so you could bump it in the club type thing. I'm not really that excited about those things. They feel monotonous to me and repetitive. I'm more in line with like the stuff that Kendrick Lamar does. And I think Mr. Morale is one of the best rap albums out there because of what it does, right? Because of the messaging and the artistry in it. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Who do you guys think won? Do you guys think Kendrick won this rap beef or Drake won this rap beef? I know it's getting crazy. I'm hearing, that there were like shootings at Drake's, home and stuff. I do not, under any circumstances, want this to get out to like that level, right? I don't want it to get to like a super dangerous level where people are in fear for their lives. So I'm hoping it doesn't continue past this to get into that level, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Anyways, that is my thoughts. I have Kendrick winning. All the social polls also have Kendrick winning. Complex has Kendrick winning. Rolling Stones has Kendrick winning. All the Twitter polls with over 30,000, 50,000, 100,000 votes have Kendrick winning this beef. I think Drake's last song was the misstep, right? They were all kind of hitting. I think Kendrick's Meet the Grams was good, but it was way too artistic for the general public. But then he came back with Not Like Us, and it just blew it out of the water. And then Kendrick and Drake came out with The Heart Part 6, and it was like Dullsville. He tried to do the whole artistic angle too, and it didn't work, man. It didn't work. I think Family Matters was Drake's best lyrical display ever. And yeah, maybe he has ghostwriters, maybe he doesn't. Whatever the case is, if the team put it together, that was his best thing. The flips, the amount of times they flipped Michael Jackson and Prince, they flipped that thing like 8 times, man. Like, that's absolutely insane. I thought that there was no more ways you could flip it after, got a Benjamin and a Jackson in my house like I'm Joe OK. I thought you couldn't flip it no more, and then he flipped it by double flipping it in the flip by saying that he's Michael Jackson now and I'm Prince, and you Jermaine's J. Cole being Jermaine, that's your brother Jermaine Jackson with Michael Jackson. The darkness is coming to the light. It was just incredible wordplay. So kudos to Drake for Family Matters. The best lyrical stuff I've ever seen from him, but Euphoria is literally the magnum opus in my opinion. Anyways, until the next one, guys, peace out.